Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Today, I want to talk about when to consider going no contact with a family member or with different people in your family. I know that this is a very difficult decision to make. I know it's something that it takes time to think through, to analyze, because we love our family and we don't want to be in a situation where we have to cut ties with people that we love. Nobody wants to do that. These people are family because these people matter to you. You care and love them. So, when should you consider going no contact with your family? Before you go no contact with a family member, I advise that you communicate, if you haven't done so already, that you communicate how they're hurting you. So, whatever it is that they're doing, you need to communicate that with them and you need to express that you want to keep that relationship. That relationship is important, but you cannot continue doing so with their toxicity, name calling, asking for money all the time, draining you with their problems, whatever it is. Passive aggressive behaviors if they're narcissists, because as we all know, narcs are known for being very passive aggressive. The covert ones, that's their specialty. So when you communicate these things and they ignore them, and as most of us, we'll try a second time. I'm not going to tell you how many times to try. That's entirely up to you. You'll get sick and tired eventually. But I think that it's only fair to give your family members an opportunity to change their behavior. I don't believe that it's healthy to cut people off without expressing your discontentment, I think, your unhappiness with their treatment, with whatever they're doing, with whatever actions are hurting you. I think the right thing to do is to let them know, hey, this is what's bothering me. I want to change it. I care about this relationship. Let's work on it. Now, if you see that there's no change and you have repeatedly expressed yourself, I used to do it through text and emails. Sometimes I did phone conversations, but those will go left. So I stopped doing that. But in whatever way is more comfortable for you, express it. Whatever way is more um, easy for you, do that. But make sure that you communicate it so that, again, you give that person the opportunity to change their behavior. If you see no change, and you have repeatedly expressed how unhappy you are with their actions, it's time to go low contact. And if you're still experiencing the name calling, the insults, the, throwing indirect shots at you, um, making you feel bad for whatever, they won't stop asking you for money. They won't stop coming to you with the toxicity and the high drama that they have, you know, family members can be very draining. And I know that a lot of us, I'm going to include myself, we think that, we're the strong one in the family. We're the strong one. My mom used to always tell me, you're the strongest one out of the family. You're the strongest one out of the family. And I carried that title with me for many years. I'm the strong one. I got this. I'm the strong one. I'm going to be there for them. I'm the strong one. I'm going to deal with their indirect insults. I'm the strong one. And, being the strong one in a family dynamic and trying to remain the strong one, and you're getting no love back, and you're getting no understanding back, and you're getting nothing back, can deplete you. Family is everything, yes, but so is your mental health. Your mental health is everything also. So when your family is depleting you, emotionally, energetically, financially, to a point where they're affecting the way that you feel about yourself, to a point where you cannot function because you're constantly worried about what's going on with such and such. And this is years of this. What's going on with their life? Their life is so full of drama that you cannot even focus on your own life because you're so worried about their life and them going to jail, them getting locked up, them doing drugs, them having no money, and you have to give and give. Sometimes you have to put those limits, set those boundaries, express those boundaries, and let them know I cannot bail you out of jail every single time you need to be bailed out. I cannot contribute to your drug use. I cannot pay your light bill every time you, because one time is not a big deal, but when there's constantly messing up because they know my big brother got me, my big sister got me, or my little sister, my little brother, they depend on you because you're the strong one, and they don't think about your feelings when they call you names, when they talk about you, when they do whatever. There's different levels of toxicity in these families. Sometimes you have to deal with all of it. Sometimes, unfortunately, your family, you may have to deal with everything I mentioned and more because some family are even physically abusive. Listen, I know that a lot of you may be feeling guilty to even think about going no contact, to even think about going low contact, because you believe that what are they going to do without me? They need me. I'm the strong one. What they're going to be just fine without you. Once they see that they need to figure life out without you, picking them up, lifting them up while they shit on you, I'm gonna go ahead and I was trying not to curse, but there you go. YouTube will forgive me. Um, listen, you're gonna figure it out. Feeling like the strong person in the family can be such a burden, can be such a burden to carry. You need to unload that. You need to unload that and realize that if your family is depleting you and you cannot take it anymore, for many, whatever your reasons are, you cannot handle it anymore because you have to focus on your own life. If you have children, you have to put that focus on your children. Sometimes these toxic family members, and I know because I lived it, they will call you with a problem and you're like, how can I help you? Okay, I'm going to help you. Okay, yeah. And you're like all over the place because you need to figure it out and you need to, you know, find a way to help these people, whether it's financially, emotionally, you need to be there for them. And your kids got to do their homework. And now you're like, I can't help you with your homework. I'm, figuring something out with my sister or my brother. Wait a minute. And you're not gonna help your kid with their homework because you are mentally exhausted from a phone call or some drama that popped off with another family member. Or sometimes, something happens with these people and they're blaming you because that one time that you couldn't help, now you're the enemy. Now, they're telling the entire world that you're the worst sister, worst brother ever because you're not there for them one time and you've been there for them 1,000 times. It's insane. It's crazy, especially if they're narcs. Especially if they're narcs, because they find a way to gaslight you and make you feel like you're nothing and you haven't been good to them and you're the worst person ever. So now you feel like, okay, I gotta make it up. You guys know how narcs operate. Narcissistic family members are even worse. Why? Because They're your family, they're your blood, and they use that against you because they know you have a good heart. So they'll play that victim role forever if you allow it. You must be there for them. You got to be there for them. You have to help them. You're my brother. You're my sister. And they'll play that. You can't say no to them because if there's a no, you know you're going to hear it and they're going to make you feel guilty. And they don't need to pay you back because you have money. They don't need to pay you back. You have money. They don't care about your finances. They don't care if you're going broke. They won't care. They will not care to financially deplete you for you to do things for them. Narcissistic family members will juice you, will milk you, leave you high and dry, and still say that you didn't help them, and still say that you were not there for them. Listen, narcissistic family members or highly toxic people, sometimes they're not narcs, they will deplete you in every way they can. So it is up to you to analyze the situation. And I know sometimes it's very difficult. As I said, they're family. You want to be strong. You don't want to turn your back on family. But you have to be there for you. You have to be there for yourself. Don't continue to ignore your mental health, your financial stability. Don't ignore how you're feeling to try to make these people happy. They'll never be happy. Narcs will never be happy. It doesn't matter what you do. You can bring them the moon and the stars. Take it from someone who has gone through everything with family members. And let me tell you something. Some of the worst enemies that you may have sometimes are your own family. Sometimes the worst things that will happen to you in life may happen through your own blood, because of your own blood. They'll put you through hell. I'm not going to tell you to go no contact with any family member. That is your decision to make. But if they're depleting you, if they're killing your self esteem, if you cannot concentrate in your own life with your own children, it's time to consider either going low contact or no contact. I'm going to say this thing to wrap up the video because I know I've talked a lot. I can talk a lot, especially about this topic. I can go hours and hours and hours talking about this topic because there's a lot of things to say about unhealthy, toxic family dynamics. You need to think about this, okay? When you choose to stay in this, when you choose to stay in this cycle, you need to think about this. What are you teaching your children? What lesson are you teaching your children? This is love. This is family. These people do all of these things to hurt me, and I'm staying in communication with them. I'm still doing everything for them. I'm still going to treat them with decency. I'm still going to show love. You're teaching your children how to be used and abused by people. You're teaching your children what a toxic family dynamic looks like. And that's exactly what they're going to do in their family. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to model the same behaviors you have shown them. That for me was it. When I saw that my children were looking at this, I said to myself, and there was a comment that one of my kids made, and I said to myself, I'm not going to show them this. This is not what I want them to think that family is supposed to be, because it's not. That's not what family is supposed to be. And if your family members don't want to mend things, if your family members don't appreciate you and value you enough to want you to want you to be happy, to treat you better, why are you still dealing with them? Why are you still dealing with them? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself. If you're still dealing with family members who are depleting you emotionally, financially, and in every way, why are you still dealing with these people? They don't care about hurting your feelings. They don't care about your financial stability. They're forever going to talk about you behind your back. You're never going to be a good brother. You're never going to be a good sister. You're never going to be a good daughter. You're never going to be good enough in the eyes of a narcissist. Never in the life. Never in this life are you going to be good enough for a narc. Now, the difference with having a narcissistic family member is that you feel like that's family, that's different. I cannot go no contact with a family because, with a family member, because that's my family. And I'm here to tell you that you'll be okay. Going no contact with family, if they're draining you and depleting you and killing your self love, it's fine. You're going to be fine. Look at me. Look at me. I'm great. And thank God that I decided to go there and get therapy and go get back on my meds for my bipolar and, do what I'm doing now, helping other people who are probably going through everything that I've experienced, all the pain and the suffering and the guilt, because you carry a lot of guilt. You carry a lot of guilt. It's almost impossible to say no because you know the backlash that you're going to get if you refuse to help. And, they're never happy. And you're never going to be happy because you're going to kill yourself trying to be a good sibling, trying to be a good daughter, a good son, a good niece. Sometimes it's your aunts or your uncles, a good nephew. And in their eyes, you'll never amount to anything. I don't care how much money you make. You're never going to amount to anything in their eyes. You have to start caring for people that care for you. If they're not showing you the love, if they're not showing you that they care, then neither should you. And walk away with peace. Walk away knowing that you tried and you gave it your best, okay? So I hope this video was helpful to those of you who are struggling with making that decision. Do what's best for you. As always, take care of your mental health. You cannot function and live a good life if you're not good up here, okay? So you need to be around people that are not constantly triggering you purposely, that are not making you feel bad about yourself, because you need to love you. You need to love you. You need to hug yourself, love yourself, and feel like, you know what? I'm a good person. I deserve love. I deserve the same love and care that I give to others. And you do. Okay? You deserve love and care and consideration and appreciation. Okay? If you don't have it, don't deal with those people no more, family or not. Okay? Say bye bye. Bye bye, narcs. Okay, my loves, that was my video for today. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, and peaceful weekend. I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.